The upper house in the Victorian Parliament yesterday, opposition and crossbench MPs banded together voting against the proposed cull of brumbies in Victoria's high country. Mrs Bev McArthur, the member involved, Liberal upper house member, joins me now from Melbourne. Where's the cull up to, Bev McArthur?
Well, Peter, it's been stalled because not only did we pass that incredible motion where the government did not oppose it, so the upper house of the Parliament of Victoria have called on the Andrews government to cease the shoot of brumbies in Victoria's high country. But what might stop it at the moment is an appeal going through to the Court of Appeal, because as you may recall, the Supreme Court position was lost and that appeal is going to the Court of Appeal now. So at the moment, they can't shoot while that is going before the courts. But it'd be a very sad day if the Andrews government decided not to listen to the Parliament of Victoria, because the Parliament has spoken and said these horses should not be shot.
The appeal you're talking about, is that the appeal that a cattleman from the Victorian town of Omeo is seeking to lead?
Correct, Peter. It's Philip Maguire. He's the cattleman that lost the Supreme Court action, but now is appealing to the Court of Appeal. So the Parks Victoria cannot proceed with a shoot while an appeal goes forward.
All right, we'll stay across that. Thank you for that. I want to go into another issue, because on Tuesday, a rally was held on the steps of Parliament House protesting this decision. This was a heavily policed rally. It was only 20 people. We saw some images there of the horses at the rally as well. Yet this Saturday, we know as many as 30,000 people are expected to flood the streets of Melbourne, and the Andrews government, well, they're saying they won't be issuing any fines, but we're in the middle of restrictions in this state, harder than any other state in the country. Why the double standard?
Well, exactly, Peter. Why the double standards? This is an outrageous situation. I was on the steps of Parliament House on Tuesday with these Brumby supporters. That's their third rally, all totally COVID compliant. Only 20 were allowed on the steps at any one time. I spoke to the police and they said no, the regulations had to be complied with. And then we hear that up to 30,000 people are potentially going to rally in the CBD on Saturday. And the government have said, well, we won't fine these people. They're now saying, well, they shouldn't attend. But we've all been told to be locked up. You can't go to a funeral. You can't go to a wedding. You'll be fined if there's more than 100 people in a pub. If 30,000 people can gather in the CBD on Saturday and not get fined, clearly there's no problem with this virus, or there's double standards here. Why can't 30,000 go to a football match?
Why wouldn't you just open up the pub doors and have people at the front and call it a protest? Why wouldn't you send out your wedding invitations and say, come to the protest of our marriage, come along? You know, you could then have as many as you like. Isn't that just a hashtag and you're away?
Well, exactly. And in the Parliament today, the Minister for Health admitted that gatherings of large numbers of people do present a risk for the spread of this virus. Yet on day one, the Police Minister and the Premier should have said this protest is illegal and it should not go ahead. They've tacitly encouraged it, and where we're going to end up, who knows?
Where are we going to end up? Got to leave it there, but we'll stay across that as well on the weekend. Bev McArthur, as always, thanks for your time tonight.
Pleasure, Peter.